that we somehow bought into, right? But it's like the problem that people have, I love that word, the problem people have is that the minute you say sexual energy, they can't not associate it to sex. They think you're talking about sex, right? And they get all tripped up on it. They start choking and oohing and on, and they get real cautious, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, she said sexual energy? Right? So, but in reality, our sexual energy is the life force energy. It's the kundalini, to use the Eastern term. And the life force energy itself, any scientist knows, okay, that the underlying behavior that's inherent in all of nature is sexual behavior, sexual regeneration, reproduction, expanding, increasing, growing type energy that animates things. I like that term because it loves to move. And when we embody our sexual energy, the kundalini is portrayed as a coiled serpent that sits in the bottom of each chakra as well as at the base of the spine. And the reason for that is because this energy, when activated, it moves, right? It's a flowing, circular type movement, which all of life, certainly in the growing stage, or even in the magnetic stage where it's pulling back and kind of incubating before it grows again, is it's growth, it's movement, it's expansion, it's taking a pattern and actualizing that pattern into a full-blown entity or a living organism of some sort. So, but the sexual energy in the body is the vitality of the body. It has that same sensation, and we can use it for sex if we want to, but we don't have to. This is also the energy that it has that very arousing sensation, in the sense that it doesn't necessarily sexually stimulate us, but it does stimulate, or shall we say, operate by very positive emotions, very euphoric type state of mind that is incredible to embrace and is absolutely necessary when we're really looking at creativity in the ultimate sense, because whatever emotional state we are in determines what we create or how we create, because emotions motivate behavior. So if we're experiencing real positive, euphoric, blissful, I don't know quite the words to say for it, but they're very good, okay, emotions, then all behavior, all thought processes, imaginations that come out of that state of mind are a correspondence to it. They're an expression of that state of mind, which means they're of a very positive, beautiful, fun, exhilarating, joyous type of nature. So, but our creativity is the most basic ability that we have as human beings, is our ability to create. And it's not, in our society, I don't know why we keep doing this, but there's like this, we've taken our creativity and we've equated it to manifesting, and manifesting means stuff, right? So we now attach the creative ability of our mind to our ability to manifest stuff, and if we sit and we think hard enough and feel and all that, we can create houses and cars and well, we can do that, okay? The point is, the real creative ability of our mind is our ability to create experience, okay? We are in charge of how we experience things on the internal level, and how we experience things inside becomes the filter that we look through, or the state of mind through which we perceive the outside world, and it determines how we create, how we express, kind of like in general, or how we act in our own life to create our own life story, and simultaneously create ourself. Because experience has three very basic inherent components to it that kind of like their correspondences, they follow in line with what we call the Trinity, or the true nature of the mind. And this basically says that creativity is, first of all, it involves all of the key components, right? At first, I'm having to decide what I want to create. I'm having to set an intention in the situation based on a desire that I have for what type of an experience that I want to create. And then I'm going to act in a purposeful manner to actually, first of all, embody the quality or the characteristics that I need to express myself in that way. And then I'm going to, because that's going to, I'm going to project it outwards, in other words, through expression, and it's going to stimulate in other people that same feeling quality that's going to motivate their behavior in terms of how they respond to me or how they interact as a result. And the feeling emotional quality becomes what we might call the unified field, or it's like the theme that creates the interaction as a joint experience that we have with another person. And then at the same time that we're having this joint experience, we are simultaneously identifying with our own, we're sensing ourselves in this experience as a certain type of person in a certain way. And that is what we mean when we use the term identity. We create a sense of ourselves, an image of ourselves, a concept of ourselves as a certain type of person based on our experiences. So, but creativity is learning how to use your own mind to create your experiences as a way of self-creating yourself in the same act. And sexual energy, I don't know why we lost this, or I do know how it came about, but I don't want to point fingers because that's kind of meaningless. But back in the day, okay, in the original idea of prayer, ceremony, meditation, any kind of like union with God, becoming more God-like, all those type things, always involved completely creative acts, right? Because the universe is creative, okay? The creation is everything in any scripture is all about creation of some sort. But the universe basically is just incredibly sophisticated levels of creativity being conducted at all these different levels. But the basic component of the universe is vibration, and vibration is ultimately not only the spoken word and lyrics and poetry and what we say and talk, but it's also music. And I won't go into too much detail on that, but anyway, the basic quality that's inherent in the entire universe is song, is sound, is music. And music produces a vibration that when embodied, right, when you're present with music that has a real definite beat to it, okay, you allow it to fill your body and you feel it inside your body, and you surrender yourself to it, right? You don't feel inhibited and weird and out of place. No, you let it kind of fill you and start kind of consuming you, and then you allow it free reign. And what it'll do is it'll dance you. Okay, so ceremony as prayer used to be where we set an intention. Okay, there was a purpose to ceremonies, and this is the actual prayer quality, and it involved chanting of some sort, which is the verbal spoken word that creates the concept of what the ceremony's purpose is or what it's about, right? And then music was played as the vibrational equivalent of the intention that we set. There used to be songs for everything, okay? And this is, if you go into esoteric sciences, or analogies and stuff, everything is broke down according to, sound, color, images, metaphor, all this type of stuff. That's all correspondence. But sound corresponds to, it's like the vibration that dances your body, and it's kind of like so the creativity of the situation was to completely open yourself to your creative nature, to the creative energy, allow it to flow in your body, through your body, and out into the world. Okay? And this was how we had communion. This was how we connected with God, with the divine nature of the universe, by embracing our creativity and that sexy, passionate, extremely alive feeling that we had, that was always in the process of celebrating, okay, the beauty of life, celebrating the magnificence of God and the universe and life itself and nature. So, so creativity is always, in order to truly embrace our creative abilities, not only do we stimulate extremely positive and euphoric emotions in ourselves, but we let go of our inhibitions, our self-conscious tendencies, our insecurity, and we just allow energy to flow through us and out into the world. And we surrender to it. It creates a sense of freedom and power, and we become at cause, because this is what allows us to create our own life, to create our own experiences of life, to give life the meaning that we want it to have, and to become the type of people that we want to be, right? So, but it's like anything in life. If you don't look at it that way, if you don't know how to embrace your creativity, if you don't know how to release your inhibitions so that you're not scared all the time, or holding back because you think you look stupid or you don't want to appear weird, and certainly if you're able to move into a situation and have the confidence and the self-knowledge that's necessary to actually honestly create in that situation, life becomes amazing. Life takes on an entirely different feel, and it's something that you like wake up in the morning and you can't wait to get started, right? It's like, okay, you know, we got a project, right? We're making something, and your mind's always saying, okay, cool, so what do I want to do today? Okay? Or when I'm going to go do this today, okay, how do I want this to go? Right? How do I want this to turn out? What do I want to bring to this situation? And you start kind of taking a whole different attitude about life, and you become alive. You become excited and passionate and turned on by life, right? This is the natural high everybody's talking about that life has the potential of giving us if we just know how to engage with it and allow it to take place. So, but certainly with the new age that's being ushered in, we are absolutely being put back into a position of creativity for possibly the first time in centuries. Okay, that's what it's really about, in the sense that if you really understand that creativity is being in the moment,